Hey y'all, Zach McDonald, your real estate agent with Real Property Associates, and this is my Edmonds 98020 update for June 2022. So I started these updates a few months back, and you know what? I dropped the ball here over the past few months, and I don't have any excuse, but I did not make a video here for all of you, and I just want to apologize and jump back on the horse here. I, as an Edmonds native, love Edmonds, and I talk about the Seattle market a lot, and I talk about Snohomish County, King County, but I don't always focus on Edmonds, and I want to bring a little love to Edmonds. So that's why I made these updates, and I just had to remember that, and we're jumping right back in. So when we jump and look at the stats here for the residential stats, we're talking about numbers from May 2022. So again, these are last month's stats. So if we're looking at new listings, we saw quite a bit fewer new listings than we did last May, which is abnormal if we look at Snohomish County as a whole. So Snohomish County had 26.2% more new listings, but in 98020, we had 35.3% fewer new listings than we did, right? So we didn't see the influx of inventory in Edmonds, specifically in 98020, than we did in Snohomish County as a whole. If we look at the pending sales here, 13 pending sales, not a lot. That's down considerably, 62.9%. But again, we didn't have that many new listings, so there's not a ton of sales to go pending, and we had a few new ones come on here over the past few weeks and a few go off, right? But if we're looking at as a whole, we're down 6.5% in pending sales across Snohomish County and considerably more in 98020. So is the sky falling? No, it's not. It's not falling. But if we're comparing, right, the numbers, we saw a large percentage drop in the pending sales, even more so than those new listings, which just means we're going to see some more houses on the market, which is good for Edmonds. We've been starving for houses. So if you're watching this and you have a house in Edmonds, give me a call. There's a lot of people that want to buy it. And house prices are at an all-time high. So if we're looking at median sales prices here in 98020, the median sales price is $1,085,750 last month. The average sales price is even higher than that, $1,270,847. And that's up 9.4% year over year. So considerably higher on the average there. The median, surprisingly, is down a little bit, 1.3%. But when we're talking about such small amounts of sales, we're talking about last year. When we talk about so few sales, 21 last year, 18 this year in 98020, we just have to say that that's not enough sales probably to give us the best comparison for the median sales price or think that prices are down. But when we're looking at that average, it's still up considerably. So prices are definitely up in Edmonds, specifically 98020 over the past calendar year, but it's a little bit harder to show with so few of sales, especially if there's some bigger ones last year and not as many of those bigger ones this year. But Snohomish County as a whole, just for some perspective, median sales price, $810,000. So we're still significantly above the median in Snohomish County. And the average in Snohomish County, $893,799 versus that 1.27 plus number. So Edmonds 98020 kicking some butt out there in the real estate space. And it's considerably more expensive to live in Edmonds than it is in other places in the county. And houses are still selling well over asking price, about the same as last year, 8.9% above asking price in 98020. And as I mentioned, we're just seeing a little bit more of accumulation of inventory, so more houses on the market. We have 14 houses for sale heading into June, which is still not enough houses for everybody. 0.8 months of supply of housing for the residential sales. And really, in a healthy market, we're seeing more like 4 to 5 months of supply where there's a little bit more negotiation between buyer and seller, but it's still pretty much an environment where you list the house in Edmonds and you're at least going to pay the asking price or a little bit more to buy your house. If you own a condo in 98020, I'll give you a few numbers here. These will be fun for you. The median sales price, $660,000 for last month, up 31.9% year over year for a condo in 98020. And the average sales price for a condo up 16.4%, at $759,700. The percent over asking price isn't quite as substantial as it is for those single family houses, but still 3.8% is not bad. It's up a little bit from last year, but we are seeing just a little bit more, again, of that accumulation of inventory, 0.9 months versus 0.4 months. And what will happen here is if we start to get into that low 1 to 2 months of inventory, we're gonna start to see a little of that amount over asking price start to go down. And we might see houses selling a little bit closer to asking price. And I'm even seeing some price reductions out there as well in Edmonds. So if we're pushing the price on the value range, we're probably going to maybe get one offer or see a little bit of a reduction in price. But if we're pricing aggressively, we're gonna continue to see that amount over asking price. So it really comes down to a strategy thing and what type of risk tolerance you have as a homeowner if you did decide to sell. And I think as a buyer, if a house is sitting on the market for a week or two, it's an opportunity to get a house at asking price or even a little bit less versus paying 10, 15% over asking price like we've been seeing here recently in Snohomish County. Thanks so much for tuning in to this month's Edmonds Real Estate Market update, focusing in on the 98020 zip code, my hometown. I promise I'm gonna do these updates here on a regular basis again, so jumping back into the saddle. If you have questions about buying or selling a house in Edmonds, I'd love to be a resource for you as an Edmonds native. And if you wanna watch these updates and follow along on a monthly basis, please consider subscribing to the channel.